All right. We're up to mitzvah number 16. Found in Shemois Yud Beis. Pasuk Mem Vav. It says, Ve'etzem, again, this is still in Parshas Boi. It's a mitzvahs loisaseh. It's a prohibitive mitzvah. Also at the time of the Beis Mikdash, because it's still talking about the Korban Pesach. It says, Ve'etzem loisishbu boi. You shall not break any bone of the Korban Pesach. Now you have to understand, that means when you're eating the Korban Pesach, you have to eat it like a mensch. Instead of like, can you imagine, you're supposed to be eating like royalty, and you take the Korban Pesach, break open the bones, and you start sucking out the marrow. Now I'm not going to say it's not geschmack, but bottom line is, that's not the way royalty would be eating. So this mitzvah is not to break any of the bones. And if you do eat, let's say, if you do break one of the bones to eat the meat, to suck out the meat, let's say, then you got malchus, you got lashes. And if you, let's say it's already broken, someone else broke the bone, and you break it again to suck it out better, you still got malchus. Even though the bone's already broken, it's not whole anymore. Now, it's got to be speaking about a bone that contains a olive-sized piece of meat, but if it's not that size, or it doesn't have any like marrow inside of it, then you do not get malchus.
Well,
yes.
Like you see, like in the stores, they have like these pieces of meat that have like a big bone.
Okay, let's say what about that?
It has like a big bone. It's very big.
Marrow.
Yeah.
And it's not like it wasn't cracked. It was cut that way.
Oh, no. See, what happens is we have the whole kid, the whole goat or the whole lamb. And the way that's going to, you don't have broken pieces. It comes whole. We shechted it. You have the whole thing. You can't start breaking open bones and start sucking out the marrow that's inside of it. Now, also one of the things that the Torah, one of the reasons behind this, it's brought down in the Chinuch, is that basically, it's brought down in the Chinuch in order that we should have it like, we shouldn't look like dogs. We shouldn't look like dogs. Also, another reason is you want it to be thrown out at the end when it's going to be left over, because it's going to be given to the dogs, that the Egyptian should see this is what happened to their god, to their idol. What they worshipped is eaten by dogs. It's chewed up by dogs. So if we're already chewing it up,
What do they worship?
then they used to worship the sheep. They worshipped the sheep. They worshipped the lamb. Now, another very interesting thing. So, like based on this, the Sefer. Now, again, this is a mitzvah. If it was never kosher in the first place, there was a problem with it, then it doesn't become, something that you can get lashes for, get malchus for. Now, it's a very interesting thing you should know on this mitzvah, that the Sefer HaChinuch writes at length. This is one of those places where he writes at length all about how when a person's actions lead that person to become that type of person. If a person is going to be involved in, let's say, chewing on the bones, let's say, then it's going to be a kind of person who's like a grubba type of person. And he discusses this. He says, therefore you should know that any type of an occupation that a person is going to choose for themselves, they become that kind of what the occupation, so to speak, lends itself to becoming. If a person is more of a dignified type of occupation, they'll remain a dignified type of person. If a person takes a job which is more coarse, then they'll become that kind of person. And you see that all the time. You'll go into certain places where it's kind of like notorious that those kind of people or that kind of occupation lends itself to something which, people are a lot more coarse. It was always known that the blacksmiths were like, coarse type of people. They were, grew up with type of people. So a person, not going to say that they were bad people, but it was more of a coarse type of person. If a person wanted to be known as a more a dignified or a more, adel type of person, then they found themselves an occupation which lent itself to remaining that way. And this was during the time of the Beis Hamikdash by both men and women.